Just weeks remaining in the regular season. Match week 25 brings us to the opposite coast and to California. The Western Conference takes center stage on this standalone Thursday night. LAFC welcomes Sporting Kansas City to the bright lights of the LA Metro, serving as our backdrop. Welcome inside Titan Stadium, along with our broadcast team, Jake Griffith. A pleasure to have you alongside us. Well, only 5 weeks left in this regular season, and LAFC, they're heating up at the right time. 2 wins in their last 3 matches. They've taken points in 4 straight matches. As we take a look at our Western Conference table coming into this match week 25 clash, and with these recent results, LAFC finds themselves in 6th position there on your screen, nipping at the heels of St. Louis City 2, who will also be in action. Most importantly for LAFC 2, they are just 3 points out of that 4th position. Remember, the top 4 teams in the playoffs get to host the opening round. They also get to pick their opponent. As for Sporting Kansas City 2, they've taken just 1 point from their last 2 matches. However, they have won 2 of their last 4, and they are desperately fighting for their postseason lives. They're in 12th position. They find themselves 13 points off the pace of that final playoff spot. A chance to look at the starting 11 for both these sides. First for the home side and the black and gold of Los Angeles Football Club. First-year manager Fabian Sandoval going with a 4-3-3. They make 6 personnel changes. This is an LAFC side that were in action just 4 days ago. Most importantly, 3 of those changes will be made up front, and the front 3 will be crucial today. This is a Sporting Kansas City 2 side who, despite a struggle at results this season, they are at times a high ball retention team, and one of the things that Fabian Sandoval wants this LAFC 2 side to do is press Sporting Kansas City, disrupt them. LAFC lead MLS Next Pro in passes per defensive action. As for their opposition, SKC2 and Lee to Santret, they counter with a 4-3-3 of their own. 3 personnel changes, including 2 at the back. Compactness is on the mind of Sporting Kansas City 2 this evening, and that midfield will be important, and the wingers will be important as well. Specifically the wingers, how they're able to drop back out of possession, create a 5-man midfield, help keep these lines very tight. LAFC, they're very direct. They like to get vertical, and they too are a high possession team. First matchup of the season between SKC2 and LAFC2. Sporting Kansas City 2, they do have the all-time series history on their side. 4 wins and 2 losses. They've won 2 of the last 3 meetings all-time, scored 7 goals in that span. Just 1 win at home all-time for LAFC 2. Austin Kazi is our center referee there on the left side of your screen. The whistle sounds, the ball moves, and we are underway on this Thursday evening in California. And LAFC will thump this all the way down. A chance to get their defense set right out of the gates against Sporting Kansas City 2, who come in following a 2-2 draw and a shootout loss against Colorado Rapids in their most recent action. They played just 5 days' time ago, so they do have slightly more rest, just about 24 hours more rest than their opposition today. But they started very quickly, went up 2-0 in that opening half, and they turn it over promptly. Opened the scoring the 35th minute, conceded goals in the 86th and 90+3 second half stoppage time. Ended up dropping the shootout as Colorado Rapids claimed the extra point. Here is LAFC 2, who are fresh off a wild 4-3 victory over Tacoma Defiance, who, coincidentally enough, Sporting Kansas City 2 will head to in their next match. Pass forward cutout. They were seeking Ernesto Rodriguez, the former Oxnard College striker. Now clipped up ahead. Here is Zamir Loyo Renaga. Misael Rodriguez on the left. Rodriguez heading toward goal. Defender going to ground. Cuts it back in front. Tap toward goal. The first save made. The rebound coughed up. And immediately, the young 17-year-old Benjamin Faeda making his first 2 saves of this contest. Back-to-back starts for the product of the LAFC Academy. 4 saves this season coming into tonight. Booming ball forward. Rodriguez able to pull that in on the move. Over on the left, wants to step inside on Alex Cunningham. The former Sporting Kansas City Academy defender concedes a corner, and it is the first of the night to LAFC 2. This has been Sporting Kansas City 2's Achilles heel this season. 8 corner goals conceded. In-swinging ball toward Courtcamp, knocked away. Falls all the way through, and we do get a whistle from our center referee. Sporting KC, they have had a rough go of it away from home this season, record-wise. 2 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. They come in to this contest on this Thursday night, a 4-match road losing streak. Lost 5 of their last 6 fixtures away from home, tied for the 4th fewest wins in the Western Conference this year. Despite that, Leith Santret, their first-year manager, he did say earlier this week that he has felt like they have played a little bit better away from home in terms of the performances, the underlying numbers. They're going to have to get used to playing away from home. They play 4 of their final 6 matches on the road to close out 2026. Today kicks off a 3-game road trip. Looking for their first away day victory since May 29th. Knocked out a play by the black and gold. SKC will have the throw in. You go back to Sporting Kansas City 2's last match against Colorado Rapids. Leith Santret, he said, look, we went back, we looked at the film. Aside from 2 individual errors that we conceded goals off of, they were pretty pleased with their performance. Said he felt like going into the half that they probably should have been up 3 or 4-0 as that rolls across the face of goal. Here's Ferguson. We'll float this one along and forward. Eric Diaz making his 12th start of the season, 21st appearance. Rodriguez eschews the overlapping run, headed wide of goal. Worked along, here's Tega Ikoba, former Portland Timbers 2-man. Nava steers it ahead. That goes careening off the boots of Marius Ianero, who bagged a brace last time out for LAFC 2. 4 goals on the season, 5 goal involvements for the Wisconsin native, who is fresh off a productive stint at the CONCACAF U20 Championships with manager Jesse Marsh and the Canadian U20 side. This from distance goes whistling wide of that near stick and out of play. Make no mistake about it, this is the bread and butter of LAFC 2. Long-range hits. You go back to their match against Real Monarchs at home at Rawlinson Stadium. Drew Terry grabbing one from distance. Did something similar against St. Louis City 2 at home as well. They love stepping into that pocket atop the 18. Jack Courtcamp making another start in goal this season for Sporting Kansas City 2, getting the nod today in place of Jacob Molinaro. Tenth start of the season for Courtcamp. In his many appearances, has played 810 minutes so far on the campaign. Cunningham elects to steer this one back, and Sporting Kansas City 2 will reset. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast the fact that somewhat similar in terms of wanting to hold on to the ball, both Sporting Kansas City 2 and LAFC 2 are. When out of possession, important to be compact today as that ball goes wanting a bit and sails out of play for an LAFC throw-in. But when in possession for Sporting Kansas City 2, their ability, whether or not they can bypass that initial line of pressure tonight, will be a real make or break piece of the game for Lita Santret's side. His message to his team this week, as it's put back into play off the quick foul, was that if they can bypass that initial press, that then it becomes about execution for Sporting Kansas City too. Trying to change the point of the attack here. They go over to the far touchline. Misael Rodriguez trying to fight inside there on Josh Santiago. Santiago, a handful of short-term agreements he signed with Marcos Santos and the LAFC first team this season, who were in action on Wednesday against Colorado Rapids in MLS play. Cabral Carter making his first career MLS start. You talk to folks around the LAFC organization, they're so thrilled for Cabral Carter to get these opportunities. He has seen MLS action this year, but getting his first start. Played 90 minutes, made 4 saves in that 1-0 loss against Colorado Rapids. There's a lot of LAFC 2 influence on the bench as well for Marcos Santos and company. Drew Terry, Tommy Mahalik, Kenny Nielsen all on the bench. Mahalik played 8 minutes as a second half sub. Terry and Nielsen both were unused substitutes in that match. Here comes Sporting Kansas City 2 again. It's Misael Rodriguez. Wants to cut inside, goes tumbling down. This will be a free kick awarded and an early booking, card handed to Josh Santiago. Misael Rodriguez has been a real breath of fresh air, coming over from the Town FC a season ago, where he had 14 goal involvements across 21 appearances. This season, he leads the team in chances created, and you see why on that replay. The way he can shift inside in a hurry. He's so slippery, he can get away from defenders. Lita Santret has heaped a lot of praise on 96 in light blue. Both he and Zamir Loyorenaga huddle over top of this ball. Twice this season, Sporting Kansas City have scored off free kicks. It'll be Rodriguez, rifles that over the bar and out of play. Faelia will walk this one forward, the California native, an MLS Next All-Star this season. The publication PrepSoccer.com tabbed him as one of the Western Conference's best players in that contest. What ended up being a 6-1 win for the East. We get a quick whistle from Austin Kazi, not to be confused with MLS Next Pro goalkeeper Austin Causey out in the Eastern Conference. Here's Eric Diaz to Ponciano on the left. Tucks it back centrally now. Here's Ianero. Good combination. Now moved forward. This cross stood up. Tap toward goal. It's in! On the other end of it is Sebastian Nava, and LAFC 2 have the breakthrough. 1-0. Traditionally, Nava, who leads the team with 42 chances created, is the one setting these up. This time, rewarding himself. That is a delightful service. On a platter to the outstretched boot of Sebastian Nava. Court Camp didn't know about it, and it is a fast start again for LAFC. Last match, it took 10 minutes before they found the back of goal. Tonight, it takes 12. And Fabian Sandoval's side are flying at home.
LAFC 2 goal in the 12th minute of play. The goal scored by player number 40.
Sebastian Nava was a player that Fabian Sandoval highlighted in our conversation earlier this week. He said that he's really taken on a lot of leadership responsibility this year. He's a good player. And the way he described it was minute by minute, match by match, he continues to grow as a complete player. Up to 4 goals on the season as Ponciano now has it. Trying to roll it in behind and does. Rodriguez, the cutback in front, turned aside by Pierre Leroux, and it's out for a throw in. Tossed back ahead, whipped all the way top of the area. No one on the receiving end for LAFC. Now Rodriguez for Sporting Kansas City trying to turn this upfield. Good recovery there by Santiago, able to run down one of the faster players on the pitch, Misael Rodriguez. Good interchange. It winds up out wide to Ernesto Rodriguez, who stands this up in front. Turned away again by Pierre Leroux. Leroux donning the captain's armband tonight for Sporting Kansas City, too. He's a player that Lita Santret has praised throughout the year as one of those younger players who has continued to grow for Sporting Kansas City, too, this season. Trying to find a Koba going forward. Cleared away from him, and now Nava, the counter is on here. Lisandro Torres, the 16-year-old. Christian Diaz now, black and gold's captain tonight. They find Kosakov on the right. Kosakov knifing in, floats this over the bar and out of play. SKC2 just trying to give themselves a little bit of breathing room here, and that has been a tough task so far. Yes, SKC2 do have the advantage in possession, but field tilt has leaned in favor of LAFC2 in terms of their ability to use their press to keep Sporting Kansas City pinned back a little bit early on. You go all the way back to the start of the season in match week 1 when Fabian Sandoval was set to make his managerial debut at the MLS Next Pro level. And he said that ideologically, rather, from a tactics perspective, they want to be a possession team. They want to be an aggressive team. And throughout the last few weeks, as they've really grown into their own, you are seeing that heavy emphasis on aggression, on pressing, on possession. They do lead MLS Next Pro, as hinted at the top of this broadcast, at passes per defensive action. And they're really able to use that to manipulate their opposition throughout the year. Here's Ernesto Rodriguez on the left. Rodriguez, top of the area. It's Nava who has the only goal so far. Nava, flash back post, nodded out. Daniel Russo will head it out of play, and it's the second corner won by LAFC2. This portion of the match is brought to you by BMO, the official bank of LAFC. Sebastian Nava will run this one down and set it up from that far corner flag. 5 times this season, LAFC2 have struck gold off corners. Nava swings this ball out. They get a touch on it, but it goes fiddling wide of that far post. So far, north of 50% possession for LAFC. They have 3 shots, a shot on target, and the lead to show for it. Akoba, an errant header out of play, and a change of possession will occur via this Nava toss back in, right in front of Lita Santret former Sporting Kansas City U18 head coach. It's a great battle on the touchlines tonight between two first-year managers in MLS Next Pro Play, both with player development, especially young player development, at the forefront of what they want to do. Fabian Sandoval was an LAFC2 assistant coach a season ago, but prior to that was the U12, U13, U17 head coach. Worked his way up through the ranks of this organization since joining in 2017. Pressure collapsing in, counter quickly on, it's Iannero! Goes wide and misses. Marius Iannero had his eyes on a third goal in less than 2 full matches. You just can't have that if you're Sporting Kansas City too. You give LAFC enough of those opportunities and they will convert those. They are, not just in terms of their PPDA, the leaders in MLS Next Pro, but they are one of the most dangerous counterattacking teams this season with 9 counterattacking goals. It is something that Lita Santred has harped on a bit these last few weeks. Early ball ahead, Torticoba! Keeper comes out. Faelia able to knock that away from the incoming Tege Koba, and will re-corral it back in. Los Angeles FC looking for an option to open up here. We'll get a whistle there as DeCarlo Guerra toppled. And it's quickly restarted. LAFC wasting no time tonight. Ponciano turns the Jets on. Here's Nava. Ponciano. DeCarlo Guerra retreating a bit is LAFC too. Now Christian Diaz sparking out orders to his team. Worked back over to Eric Diaz. Eric Diaz will ping this one forward. Left it a bit short, though, on that switching ball, and it's nodded back into the possession of Jack Kortkamp, who has been on the bench 4 times this year for manager Rafael Vicky and the Sporting Kansas City first team, who they played last night. No SKC2 players on the bench in that contest. Lita Santret did say earlier in the week that he expects that won't be much first-team influence with this SKC2 side the rest of the way here in 2026. Appeals for a foul go unanswered from Sporting Kansas City. Official waves the arm and says play on. Here's Rodriguez. Ponciano. Space closed off by SKC2. Here's Ernesto Rodriguez. Trying to shift past Alex Cunningham. Guerra keeping the possession rather on for a moment, but spilling out of play. We'll stay here. LAFC with the throw in as Kosakov puts it back into play. The San Diego native, former Washington Husky. Nava able to find Torres. Torres hesitates, rifles this toward goal, and booted away by Pierre Leroux, the former Michigan Wolverine. Kosakoff will toss this back in. Instead, it will be Josh Santiago set to throw it back in. 13 appearances as Santiago chucks this into the area. Connecting with it is Ianero. Laid off to Lisandro Torres. Connecting with Ponciano, who steps up. Ponciano! It's a dream start at home for LAFC 2. A pair of goals less than 25 minutes in. That's a good find from Lisandro Torres, just fighting off challenges. Ponciano liked what he saw, steps into it, laces through. Not a bad way to open your account if you're the 19-year-old Emir Ponciano. His first career MLS Next Pro goal, extending the lead for Fabian Sandoval's side. The aforementioned Sandoval, he had said this week that you look at the last month of play for LAFC and everything has progressed. Feels like there's been a real evolution over the last 7-8 fixtures for the black and gold. Says this team's understanding more how he wants them to defend and press, how he wants them to attack. There's synergy and chemistry when in possession, and it is reflected in the results. You look at the last 5 matches, save for the Ventura County loss, taking points in 4 consecutive matches. And if this opening 25 minutes is any indication, looking set to make that 5 consecutive. Still a lot of game left to play, and if you're Sporting Kansas City too, you have to find a way to claw yourself back into this. This portion of the match is presented by DoorDash, exclusive on-demand delivery partner of LAFC. One of the statistics that tells maybe not the full story of this contest so far, but really spells things out pretty clearly. SKC just 9 passes completed in the opposition half so far. Here's Kosakoff on the right. Santiago. Ponciano, the recent goal scorer. Ernesto Rodriguez on the left. Ponciano will peel this one back over to Eric Diaz. LAFC losing some ground, and now that continues. They retreat deeper into their own half. Ikoba going to ground. Ponciano strong on his feet, though. To Nava. Rodriguez motoring down the left-hand side. The cut back in front, deflected toward court camp. Cleared away, not deep enough. It falls to Nava. Dispossessed initially. Ikoba forward, trying to hold play up. Here's Blaine Maybe under duress. He finds Misael Rodriguez. But you look at the amount of traffic right now in this midfield as Sporting Kansas City 2 are trying to go. Mentioned it at the top during our open about Sporting Kansas City wanting to stay compact, create central overloads. Right now it's LAFC 2 doing exactly that. Here is Shane Donovan on the left. Rather on the right-hand side. They switch it over to the left, but overhit by Blaine Maybe, and it goes careening out of play. A look at it again on the other end, though. Ernesto Rodriguez puts this in front. Very nearly a dangerous mistake from Mitch Ferguson. Just a little out of position there. Ended up deflecting it toward court camp. Reflexes were strong, though. And LAFC will have another throw back into play. Courtcamp with it at his feet. Now LaRoe. Here's Courtcamp again. Right now it's LAFC pressing in this 3-2 shape, just about. Sporting Kansas City, they have had some struggles bypassing that press early on. They do so there successfully, and Akoba will swing it over to Donovan on the right. The Kansas City native, former SKC U15 through U19 Academy man. Through the central space, SKC2 go. That is unsuccessful. Dispossessed are the visitors. Ponciano rolls it along. Ernesto Rodriguez slices this centrally. Ianero turns away from pressure, finds Eric Diaz. Guerra now. Torres. Torres with support. He finds Kosakov. Kosakov in front, headed over the bar and out of play. It'll be a corner for LAFC as we come up on the half-hour mark elapsed. The black and gold have just been bearing down on Sporting KC2 since the opening whistle. 85 passes completed in the opposition half so far. Booted back in, glanced along, falls top of the area. Torres tries a hit, blocked away, and it will careen out of play for a throw-in. This portion of the match is brought to you by Ford. Lisandro Torres turns it over. The real work beginning here, though, for Sporting Kansas City, too. Just trying to get it across that halfway line and maintain that possession. Unsuccessful in that venture. Going back to the passes completed in the respective opposition half with the 85 right now for LAFC2. Anyone who's watched LAFC will tell you that is no surprise. They are a top 4 team, and passes completed in the opposition half per match in MLS Next Pro. Header falls to Nava toward goal. It's 3-0. And hold everything. Delayed as the offside flag comes up at the last moment. The goal chalked off. No brace in the first half for Sebastian Nava as the offside flag raised, and Austin Kazi, our center referee, waves what would have been the third goal of the half off for LAFC2. They're back in possession, though. Torres from distance, parried out of play, and it'll stay here. 4th corner of the night upcoming. Lisandro Torres was a player that Fabian Sandoval had said this week, of the young guys, he's really stood out. Making his 2nd consecutive start, 5th appearance of the season. And he continues to shine. Nava fires this back stick, falling over the head of Ianero, and no danger presented by that. The shot count up to 9 for LAFC. They have 3 shots on target. It has been quite some time, almost 20 full minutes since Sporting Kansas City were able to get a shot off to their credit. Leo Renaga trying to rectify that for the visitors. Back he goes to LaRoe, who contorts around defenders. Turned over again. Iannaro comes up with the interception. Shoveled over. DeCarlo Guerra toward goal, and it's stopped by Courtcamp. Meanwhile, Marius Iannaro is down in a heap, and Austin Kazi takes note of that and will whistle for a stoppage. It was right after Iannaro dished it off to Guerra right there on the left center side of your screen, and immediately going down. Trevor Burns, the former New England Revolution Academy midfielder, made just a quick hack at the ball. Hard to tell from that angle if he made contact, but Iannaro was down, and is back to his feet. In the melee of all of that, Trevor Burns is shown a yellow.
Your attention, please. The head referee showed a yellow card to. The head referee showed a yellow card to Sporting Kansas City 2 in the 34th minute of play. The yellow card was shown to player number 47, Trevor Burns.
Play is back underway, and Sporting Kansas City 2 in possession. It's Burns going into the book, becoming the first SKC2 player to be shown a yellow so far tonight. He does have this organization in his blood, the son of Mike Burns, former Kansas City Wizards player. It's goals in the 12th minute and the 23rd minute. Sebastian Nava, Emir Ponciano, the El Salvadorian grabbing the second. And that has been the difference maker so far for the black and gold here at home, who have been a tough out, be it at Rollinson Stadium, be it here at Titan Stadium. 8 wins. They've taken points in 11 of 12 home fixtures so far this season. They are unbeaten in 11 consecutive coming into this Thursday night clash. 7 wins, 4 draws in that span. Tied for the most home wins in the entire league, as Iannaro trying to get a nog into that. Nods it out of play, and SKC2 will take over via the throw-in. LaRoe, a short clearance, headed back down by Nava. Nearly corralled in by Iannaro. Now he has it at his feet. Iannaro to Ernesto Rodriguez. Pulls it back out to Ponciano. And that is where LAFC will reset things. One of the things that makes them so dangerous in possession is their ability, the patience, their ability to recycle their runs, recycle the ball. They move it side to side so well. DeCarlo Guerra now to Ponciano, shovels it forward once Rodriguez knocked out of play, and it'll stay here for a black and gold throw. Specifically that ability to move the ball side to side. It can be so hard for a defense to continue to stay set in their low block. Santiago struggling with the control, hands it back off. Ernesto Rodriguez finds Ponciano. Ponciano and Nava playing give and go. And that is where Ponciano will reset things back to Eric Diaz again. Racing down the left side. Here's Ponciano, tucks it in, intercepted, cleared away. Once again, though, Sporting Kansas City just can't get it across the midway line. Ponciano via Iannaro, swung back over to Christian Diaz, the homegrown out of the LAFC Academy, where he spent 3 seasons, 2023 to 2025. Iannaro trying to force his way in, wins a whistle, and this free kick in a real inviting position for LAFC. Fabian Sandoval said this week, Marius Iannaro, he is just in such good form since returning from the CONCACAF U20 Championships. 105 minutes he played in the quarterfinals against Jamaica in that 3-1 win after extra time. 5 appearances, 4 starts for Iannaro, including grabbing a goal during his time with Jesse Marsh in Canada. Ultimately bowing out in the semifinals against eventual champions Mexico, who took down the United States in that championship battle. Sebastian Nava hovers over top of this. Already has 1 tonight. Sebastian Nava, the offering right at court camp, sees it in all the way. That represents the second stop of the opening 45 for Jack Courtcamp, who has been tagged with 2 early goals. Turned over again by SKC2. Here's Iannaro steering through traffic, dispossessed, and just hacked clear by SKC2, who do earn themselves a whistle. We said from the start of this contest that pressing was going to be crucial for LAFC2. It is part of their identity, but specifically tonight against a like-minded team in Sporting Kansas City 2 who want to hold on to that ball as much as possible. They, under Lita Santret, try to value it as much as possible. Whether or not LAFC could press and disrupt SKC in their low build-outs would be key, and they have successfully done that so far. Whipped ahead and met by the boot of SKC2 defensively, specifically Mitch Ferguson. They go forward to Ponciano. Here's Rodriguez. Working on the left-hand side, wants to go end line. Denied that by Cunningham. Was well defended on that outside by the 19-year-old from Missouri. Less than 5 minutes plus added time to go until we get the halftime whistle from Austin Kazi. Make sure to stick with us. We have a jam-packed halftime report. Plenty busy weekend around MLS Next Pro. We'll bring you the upcoming schedule, show you some recent results. We'll also stay here in the Western Conference and get to know another player in the player pathway in MLS Next Pro out of Portland Timbers. As Ponciano will have the throw in. Speaking of Portland Timbers, they are one of 2 teams in MLS Next Pro, not just the Western Conference, but the league overall, that have clinched a playoff spot in 2026 officially. Austin FC becoming the first team to do so. Out in the Eastern Conference, Crown Legacy had a chance to do it earlier in the week, but were felled by Connecticut United. Houston Dynamo Dos as well couldn't get past San Jose Earthquakes 2. They had a chance to lock up a playoff spot, and now their attention will shift to the weekend, a big battle with St. Louis City 2 coming up. Last time they were in the Gateway City, they were handing St. Louis back in May a 4-1 defeat. It's not often teams walk into Energizer Park and beat St. Louis City SC, much less beat them like that. Here is Sebastian Nava for LAFC. Iannaro over. Torres dodges one, feeds Kosakov, who clips it along in front, cleared away from Rodriguez. Cunningham looking for support, couldn't find it in time. Intercepted by Ponciano. Guerra charging along. Torres shakes free of one. Torres now forward, rolls it along, deflected out by Mitch Ferguson, and it will stay here. That's one of those small individual errors that lead to Santret has really tried to stamp out from the Sporting Kansas City 2 side over these last few weeks. In that case, LAFC looked like they were just set to turn that ball over and concede a goal kick to Sporting Kansas City 2. Instead, Ferguson Just gets one last touch off on it, and it will be the 5th corner of the opening half for LAFC 2. Nava, out-swinging ball, met first by Sporting Kansas City. And now clipped along by Trevor Burns. A chance to break out here for SKC. Rolled ahead. They find Ikoba. Ikoba steps in. Ikoba had it deflected off his boots and swept out of play. It'll stay here, and Sporting Kansas City will have the throw. SKC, they had a couple swipes at goal less than 6 minutes in. Since then, it's been nothing doing offensively. They stand this up, back post, falling all the way through. Rodriguez picks it up. Rifled back into the mixer, turned aside by the defense of LAFC 2, and it's out for a quick throw. Leroux, long ball played in behind, a foot race here. Ponciano will just let it roll out of play, and it will be a throw. Booted back along by Ferguson. Neither team able to possess so far. There's Russo for a moment, and now countering is LAFC 2. They'll roll it ahead. Here is Ernesto Rodriguez. He has been a force to be reckoned with so far on the left flank in this first 45. Worked along. Kosakov battling on that outside with the aforementioned Russo, who is slow to get back to his feet. 2 minutes of added time, according to our fourth official, Kevin Pantaleone.
2 minutes of added time to the end of the first half.
Daniel Russo and Charlie Kosakov really going at one another, and Russo was worse for wear off that collision. You see Austin Causey in the center of your screen having a chat with the aforementioned Kosakov. Daniel Russo in his first year with Sporting Kansas City 2. He's bounced around MLS Next Pro, former Red Bull New York Academy defender. Spent time with Atlanta United 2 back in 2024. Comes over from Vancouver Whitecaps last year, where he spent 20 appearances, almost 1,500 minutes played, 3 goals. As Jack Courtcamp puts it back into play, and we do get a whistle. The possession numbers as we come up on the expiration of this first half, somewhat even, 54-46. But LAFC, 11 shots, 5 on target. They've really dictated the tone of this contest. Whipped ahead, out wide, and that will just sail away from everyone. If you're Fabian Sandoval and LAFC, you have to be happy undoubtedly with how you've played in this first half, but you might walk into that locker room thinking you could have had more. There was about a 15-minute stretch where Sporting Kansas City just couldn't get that ball into the attacking half. Turnover, counters, and LAFC, as the halftime whistle sounds, they grab 2 first-half goals from 2 different goal scorers. Our score at the break, 2-0 LAFC over Sporting Kansas City. Coming up in our halftime show, more player profiles, plus the Next Pro scoreboard, upcoming schedule, and first half highlights, all when we return. Welcome back to California. Let's learn another one of our great stories on the MLS Next Pro Player pathway. But this one includes a happy surprise when Portland Timbers' Eric Izoida recently made his MLS debut.
On March 22nd, the Timbers called up Timbers 2 midfielder Eric Izoida ahead of their match against the LA Galaxy. Hours later, the 18-year-old academy product was named to the starting 11, making his MLS debut.
I didn't really know if I was starting or anything. I thought maybe I'd be on the bench, I'd play, but I was kind of just waiting for it. I was getting ready. I was like with my family, just chilling at home, really. I found out in the meeting right before the game, so like an hour 20 before the game. The anthem, it's always one of my favorite parts of every game. It's always, for me, that's like the crowd is engaged, everybody. It's just really cool experience. For me, just being in the stands, that's one of the parts of the game. And now being there, being on the field, doing it, it was just a really cool experience for me.
Confidence is everything in moments like these. And from the moment he walked into the locker room, Eric felt the trust of his teammates.
They were all just saying, we trust you, we believe in you, we know you're good enough for this. They were all just really positive, telling me that just to work hard out there, to not overdo it, just get into the game and just keep going. I'd say there was the first 10 minutes, I knew I had to go simple, I had to get it out. Then after 10, 15 minutes, I knew I was settling in. I made one good ball in behind, and then after that, I was good. And then second half, it took me 5, 10 minutes to get settled in again.
Perez loses out.
In my mind, after I scored, I thought I only took 1 touch or 2 touch. I thought I just ripped it right away. It felt really good coming off the foot. In warm-ups, I had 2 really good shots as well. They both came off the post, so I was hoping it wouldn't come off the post, but it was just a really good shot. I scored, and I knew we had a little chance to get back in it, and it was just a really good moment for me.
These moments come once in a lifetime, and for Eric, having his family there to see it live was priceless.
They were just really proud. They were all like, just asking how the game was, asking all the details. They were talking to me, telling me all the stuff, how everybody was walking up to them. Everybody was saying congratulations, and even though after the loss, everybody was really happy for me. They were asking how they get our seats and how they know where we were, and I think my brother told them where they were at, and they were just really, they didn't even know they were on camera, so it was like really surprising for them.
Eric's dream of making his debut has now become a reality.
I'm really grateful for all the coaches, for all they've done. They've all done a lot for me and everybody else who's on the second team and the first team. And it's really cool seeing the talents coming out of the academy right now too.
Now, he's focused on everything that comes after it.
For me, it's to obviously break into the first team fully, hopefully get regular minutes. Those are my goals. That's one of my goals. Also getting called into the national team, keep getting called in, and then just up from there.
My name is Matthew Arana. I play for Houston Dynamo, and I play attacking midfielder.
Born and raised in Rocheron, Texas, Houston Dynamo homegrown midfielder Matthew Arana is proud to represent the Bayou City.
Matthew Arana, goalkeeper at the mercy of the finish.
Arana picks it up, 2 defenders in front of him, and stings the back post.
I feel really great. I was born and raised there. No one would ever thought a kid from Rocheron would be pro at 15 years old. And I feel amazing to be able to represent Houston, where I'm from.
Arana joined the Dynamo Academy at 11 from his local club Rise SC and quickly climbed the ranks.
I was playing like a year up already. I was already used to it, but it was like a different level still, because there was other kids that I never knew that came to this team, and they were all really good, so I started off a little bit slow, but I started getting used to it, and then I went up the ranks.
From Houston, getting the first Dream Academy. At 15 years, 5 months, 24 days of age, the youngest first-team signing in club history. 15!
I felt amazing. I was ready. I was praying, hoping my name would get called and I could step on the field. When I got there, we did the warm-ups and stuff like that. And I was warming up and we had one sub left and I was the last one. I was like, hopefully my name gets called. And when I went in, honestly, it's a feeling I can't explain how I felt, but it was amazing. And playing against a player like Son, that was I never thought I would watch him. When I was younger, I never thought we'd be playing against him. It was really beautiful.
As Arana developed through the academy, his next step with Dynamo Dos continues to push his game forward.
Arana likes what he sees. Oh my goodness!
It helps me a lot, get minutes in. And obviously this team is still high level. There's a high level of the whole league, and it helps me get minutes so I could prepare for when my time comes with the first team.
He has some really unique qualities to his game that are tough to teach and not many players have. His ability to protect the ball, to be deceptive, to dribble out of situations.
I think the level is just high. And every day you gotta be consistent. If you wanna get minutes, you gotta work hard. It's tough because I'm like a young player, but I think I'm getting used to the level and hopefully I could get more minutes in soon.
I love Matthew. He's one of my really close friends. We went through the academy together. We've been with each other through a really young age, and playing on the field with him is amazing. He's a really good player, obviously. All I have to do is pass him the ball, and he'll get us to the other side of the field, dribbling through players.
His performances in his hometown have opened the door for Arana to represent Mexico at the youth level.
2 years ago, like March, they sent my Dynamo an email and told me that they were gonna invite me to a camp, and I didn't believe it. I was like, it felt amazing. It means a lot to me representing my roots, where I'm from, and my family, and it's a great experience over there. I got number 10 the first time. I was like, it felt beautiful experience for me. When I went over there, I was a little nervous. That was my first time going to Mexico, but the coaches and the players were all really nice, and it felt like a family as soon as I got there.
Through it all, he hopes to make his family proud after all they've done to get him here.
A lot of sacrifices, taking me to all the far tournaments before, because I can't drive yet. They take me here every morning early, and yeah, I really appreciate what they do for me.
Well, the player pathway continues to produce in MLS as evidence there. As for our contest, it's still halftime between LAFC and Sporting Kansas City. 2-0 to the black and gold, 45 minutes deep into this contest. This is not the only action that has been in play around MLS Next Pro. As we take a look at our recent scores around the league, you look at Houston Dynamo Dos and San Jose Earthquakes 2. Houston Dynamo, we heard from their star Matthew Arana just now at the half. They had a chance to lock up a playoff spot, a late goal from Quakes 2. They end up going to a penalty shootout in that one. Houston Dynamo, they will turn their attention to the upcoming weekend in a two-match week for Dynamo Dos. Elsewhere in the Western Conference, the Texas Derby, a deadlock, 0-0 between Verdos and North Texas SC. Those are your latest scores, but there's still action to come on the upcoming docket. Things will get back in play on Saturday. The aforementioned North Texas side will take on Minnesota United. But Sunday is really where it's all at. A batch of Eastern Conference teams there in that early window. But then the back end of that Sunday schedule is such an exciting slate of matches. Specifically, St. Louis and Houston Dynamo Dos. That contest will be electric. A 4-1 win for Dynamo Dos the last time they visited Energizer Park. They could potentially inch closer to playoff qualification. Meanwhile, St. Louis, if they could get a win and 3 more points, they could perhaps leapfrog their way into a top 4 spot after having a bit of a drop-off in play midway through the year where it looked like they were just going to try to scratch and claw their way into a playoff spot. Period. Things will end with Ventura and Portland Timbers. That'll be fantastic as well. Let's get you caught up to speed in our contest. How we got here to this halftime intermission with our halftime highlights. And there were plenty of highlights to go around. Things slanted in favor of LAFC pretty early on into this contest. Less than 15 minutes in, a service finds the feet of Sebastian Nava, who flicks it past Jack Courtcamp. That made it 1-0 in the 12th minute. LAFC, they weren't done though. Emir Ponciano has a hit from distance, picks out that far corner, and slots it past Jack Courtcamp for the 23rd minute. LAFC, they would have a couple opportunities to perhaps grab a third goal. That one, off an errant clearance, goes cleared away and deflected, and that is where we stand through 45. We'll head back to break. Stick with us. The opening kick of the second half when we return.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Yeah, boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
Approaching the opening kick of the second half here in Fullerton, California. Sporting Kansas City, LAFC, 45 down, 45 to go. It's the black and gold finding themselves out in front. 2-0 through 45 minutes of play. Along with our broadcast team, Jake Griffith, glad to have you with us. Both teams out from the halftime dressing room and set to go. LAFC trying to pick up where they left off in the opening 45 minutes. Won that for extremely large stretches of the contest. They just kept their foot on the gas pedal. Did not allow Sporting Kansas City to get into any type of rhythm or fluidity. They're late in about the final 3 minutes of the first half rather. Sporting Kansas City had a couple options going forward, got themselves a late free kick in the attacking half. Lita Sancharet's side hoping that will be a little bit of momentum that they need going into half number 2. There's the whistle, and we're back underway for the second 45 minutes. Both teams with a change. Travis Babineau will come on for LAFC, and as for Sporting Kansas City, Gael Quintero will come on.
Trevor Burns. Entering the match, point number 44, Gael Quintero.
Trevor Burns coming off for SKC2. Josh Santiago exiting for LAFC.
Entering the match, number 32, Travis Babineau.
The 18-year-old Benjamin Faelia going forward with that ball on the distribution. He played well, faced 2 shots, stopped both of them in succession in the infancy of that first 45. Here's Misael Rodriguez working on the left. He is dispossessed. Empty move from DeCarlo Guerra. Couldn't hang on to the ball, however, and Blaine Maybe will pick the pieces up for Sporting Kansas City, who retreat back over to Pierre Leroux, making his 49th MLS Next Pro appearance tonight, closing in on 5,000 career minutes in his Next Pro career. Leroux volleys this one forward, takes a deflection, and now in behind, here's Rodriguez. Rodriguez cuts to his right, shot is blocked. And Koba stuck in, trying to keep the possession on here for SKC2. Instead, it's Ponciano who will lift that away from danger. It's one of the things that is so tough about playing a West Coast team. They traditionally are so good in those tight windows of space. Here's Iannero leading the charge the other way. Iannero shoveled down, and this will be a free kick. He won a free kick off a foul in a similar spot in the opening 45. This may be a step or two closer to goal. Marius Iannero, he's come close to grabbing a goal in this contest, stymied by Jack Courtcamp once in the opening half, but he has had some good runs on the ball that have helped set LAFC up with dangerous opportunities, exactly like this, as DeCarlo Guerra will stand over this one, has a chat with Sebastian Nava, who opened the scoring all the way back in the 12th minute. And now Austin Kazi has some stuff to sort through here. A collision as that wall formed in front. Misael Rodriguez went down clutching his face. And now Austin Kazi wants to talk with Rodriguez and Christian Diaz. Hasn't been an overly physical contest. We have seen 2 yellow cards handed out, both of those coming in the first half, one to either team, but nothing exceptionally physical. It'll be Nava toward goal, but goes deflecting off that side netting. And we got a whistle as well on the other side of it. Despite the abundance of set pieces conceded in this contest by Sporting Kansas City 2, they allowed 5 corner goals in the first half. That's the 3rd attacking half free kick for LAFC in this contest overall. They have been able to come away unscathed. Both the goals have come in the run of play. Back the other way. Here's LAFC. Iannero trying to carve an opening. Flicked on now by the visitors. They drop it over to Loyo Renaga. Sandro Torres knocks it past the defender in Quintero. Now Ponciano funnels it down that left-hand side. Ernesto Rodriguez. DeCarlo Guerra. Back over to the right flank. Babineau threads it back through. Torres, back post, falling all the way out the other side. That'll go out for an SKC throw in. One player that Sporting Kansas City 2 have just not been able to get an abundance of touches out of so far is Tega Ikoba. So far just 16 touches for their center forward. Foul committed by LAFC, restarted here by SKC over on that far side of things. They find maybe streaking along. Rodriguez Delayed whistle after Blaine maybe went down. Lita Santra there at the bottom of the screen was hoping that Austin Causey would play the advantage. No such luck for Tasantret and company. It's turned over in the midfield. Racing the other way, Torres. Lisandro Torres blocked away. Daniel Russo stepping up at the right moment and now clipped away from Sebastian Nava. Leo Renaga couldn't run it down. Lisandro Torres will pick the pieces up. Here's Kosakov. Charlie Kosakov had an assist on the opening goal over to Sebastian Nava. A brilliant service in. Babineau, the second half substitute, former LA Galaxy Academy defender, stepping up. They go ahead. Here's Ponciano. Ernesto Rodriguez wants to put it back in front, falls back to him. The cutback deflected away and finally cleared by SKC. Renaga able to volley that ball into the path of Misael Rodriguez. Down the left flank comes Rodriguez. Cuts back wide. Rodriguez! Oh, that would have been something if he could have pulled that rabbit out of a hat. Instead, just wide of that far post. This is what he brings, though. Lita Santret has said so many times that the quality he has brought to the front three this year has been important. It's taken some time, but Sporting Kansas City perhaps starting to grow a bit into this contest. One back initially by SKC too. Short-lived spell of possession though. It's not just the press you have to worry about when you face this LAFC side. They also are a great counter-pressing team. It is something that Fabian Sandoval has tried to instill in them from day one. When they lose that ball, they want to go get it back immediately. They're going to get up in your face as soon as you take a step in possession. Meanwhile, here's Babineau weaving his way in and out. Guerra, late arrival from Ponciano. Ponciano via Ernesto Rodriguez, who leaves it off for him. Quickly moved along. Lisandro Torres. Ahead, Ernesto Rodriguez stops. Back to Torres, rifled away, blocked down by Shane Donovan. That is the fourth blocked shot for Sporting Kansas City in this contest. They find Torres again along and forward. Space to move here for DeCarlo Guerra. Christian Diaz surveys. Out wide he goes. It's Kosakov. Well-timed slide to the ground. Dislodged, and Sporting Kansas City 2 are off to the races. Here's Misael Rodriguez. Misael Rodriguez dancing around. Still Rodriguez got a shot off, but just rolled right into the path of the defender and booted clear by LAFC. This portion of the match is brought to you by Kaiser Permanente, the official team physicians of LAFC. Long chuck back into play from Ponciano, met by the head of SKC, but now room to run here for the black and gold. Telegraphed pass picked out there by Russo. Here's the aforementioned Russo, who spent 4 years collegiately at Notre Dame, was a two-time All-ACC pick during his time at the collegiate level. NCAA Division I men's soccer getting underway tonight. A flurry of contests, including Kansas City's hometown side, University of Missouri, Kansas City, the Roos, who are led by former Sporting Kansas City midfielder Ryan Poor. If you want to get technical, when he played for the organization, they were known as the Kansas City Wizards, but still. KC, one of the favorites in the Summit League, as they have been the last few years, an NCAA tournament team a season ago. Speaking of postseason, this LAFC 2 side hoping that they can continue to inch their way up the Western Conference table and be a playoff team in 2026. They missed the playoffs last year. Rolled ahead, here's Iannero, stops, surveys. Marius Iannero tripped up. Official waves off a would-be foul, and it is cleared. It ricochets to the feet of Iannero, who cuts it out wide. Ernesto Rodriguez giving up. Clip toward goal, near post, just wide and out. LAFC, they have had a number of dangerous services to the back post, to the near post, just like that. Kosakov a step too slow from getting underneath it. Otherwise, it would have been 3-0. Dropping deep to link play is Rodriguez. His pass nearly cut out and re-corralled back in by Quintero, the California native who spent time at St. Mary's from 2021 to 2022, ended up transferring to Loyola Marymount. Closing in on the hour mark elapsed here in California. No score to be had in this second half. Last goal we saw came all the way back in the 23rd minute. And we do get a whistle as Sebastian Nava taken down. Sandro Torres trying to turn away from pressure, instead turned right into it. Now ahead, it's Russo. Rodriguez. Play that ball through to Tega Ikoba. And they have had Tega Ikoba, LAFC have, marked very well this evening. 17 touches on that ball, has yet to generate a shot on target. Kosakov lining it up and sails that one high. Can't help but walk away from this contest feeling impressed with what the 21-year-old San Diego native has brought on the right-hand side of this front three tonight. He's one of the team's leader in shots per 90 minutes, just about 2.5 per match. As LAFC and Sporting Kansas City both readying 2 changes apiece. That'll have to wait. Here's Rodriguez the other way. Leaves it off. Maybe connecting with Loyal Renaga. A great stop made. Benjamin Faelia, the 18-year-old, grabbing his third save and his second consecutive start. Just a few matches ago, he made his professional debut, came on in the 32nd minute for Ethan Scally, who had to come off. And since then, Fabian Sandoval and his coaching staff, they've been content to give the Californian his fair share of opportunities. Currently plays for the LAFC U18s, been a part of the academy. Faelia has since 2022. Turned over by Sporting Kansas City. Iannero. Whistles it wide, and out of play it goes. Those aforementioned changes we teased earlier, they will happen as the substitution window is open.
Substitutions for both teams occurred in the respective 63rd minute of play. Beginning first with
On comes Kashawn Hines for Sporting Kansas City 2. He is joined by Ty Haas. Hines, 7 goals and an assist this season for SKC2. So a big offensive substitution made by Lita Shantred, hoping that will breathe life into what has otherwise been a lethargic SKC2 attack tonight. As for LAFC2,
substitutions also for LAFC.
Liam Lambert and Nathan Martaresco will come on. Liam Lambert grabbing headlines this week, being named Rising Star of the Match Week for Match Week 24. Had a goal and an assist in the win against Tacoma Defiance. And Lisandro Torres will exit after a strong shift turned in, flanked by Marius Iannero. Play back underway off the stoppage for the changes. The aforementioned Liam Lambert, the last 7 seasons in the LAFC Academy, former 2023 MLS Next U15 MVP. Already has 4 goal involvements in just 10 prior appearances, including that 2-goal contribution night against Tacoma Defiance last match week. Fabian Sandoval, he said that Lambert, Torres, he called them difference makers these last few weeks. Babineau, product of UC Irvine. Back they go to Faelia. Long distribution on that diagonal ball. Goes out of play. It'll be an LAFC throw. This portion of the match is brought to you by Toyota. Still plenty of time to go, but should this result hold for LAFC2, at least for the evening, would move them into a tie points-wise with Ventura County. We get a whistle, and this will be another free kick just a few steps outside the 18 for LAFC2. Marius Iannero had been the man that had a great deal of success in this contest, working himself into tight spaces atop that 18, winning these free kicks. No Iannero, no problem. It still continues, that trend does, for the black and gold. Nava and DeCarlo Guerra over it. Guerra toward goal. That'll get away from him and go sailing out of play. Despite the bevy of shots that LAFC2 have generated, those shots off the target have been somewhat of the story. That is their 9th shot off target. I have to imagine that this scoreline could be even larger in favor of the home side if they put 1 or 2 more of those on frame. As now we get a whistle for a stoppage back the other way, because Sean Hines committing the foul. Faelia puts it back forward at the restart and promptly headed down by Sporting Kansas City 2. Here's Hines. Couldn't hold on to it. Leading the way is Martaresco. Finding Ernesto Rodriguez over on the left, who goes tumbling down. And much to the dismay of Sporting Kansas City 2, it will be another free kick for Los Angeles FC. First half was marked by corners. Second half has been marked by set pieces of another kind in favor of the home side. Free kicks. It's their 3rd attacking half free kick. It's really their 3rd free kick in the final third over the last 15 minutes. From a sharp angle, Nava, I have to imagine he'll treat this just like a corner. Nava curls it in, headed over the bar. There was a foul inside, though, and it's whistled dead. SKC try to go up the far touchline with it. That space that Alex Cunningham thought he had disappeared in a hurry. It'll stay here, though, with the visitors. They will stay on the road and specifically stay on the West Coast in their next road match coming up. Taking on Tacoma Defiance. Lovely interchange here. Haas rolls it through. Hines on the other side. Kashawn Hines stopped again. Benjamin Faelia standing on his head tonight for LAFC2. His 3rd save of this second half. None better than this. Just a great reflex stop there with Hines. SKC2's most dangerous goal scorer bearing down on him. Rodriguez able to pop that ball free for a moment. Now LAFC will hack this all the way down. Kosakov, early ball in. Goes across the face of goal. And Ernesto Rodriguez able to run it down. Los Angeles FC conceding some ground here. They'll find their 18-year-old netminder. Long ball ahead and just turned out of play by Mitch Ferguson. Had Nathan Martaresco on his hip pocket. Seeking Martaresco on that toss back into play. Now there's a collision as Leroux tripped up, and it will be Sporting Kansas City with the free kick. One of the things that Lita Santret had lauded his team about these last few weeks, he felt like defensively they had turned a corner and making it difficult for teams to generate quality chances on the ball. They were on some shaky ground early in this contest as another whistle will go against SKC2, and this time Kashawn Hines will be shown that foul. And we'll open the substitution window for LAFC, who will make their final 2 changes of the night. Eddie Vieta and Skylar Kaplan will both come on. th appearance of the year for Vieta, 16th for Skylar Kaplan, who spells Emir Ponciano. This portion of the match is brought to you by Liquid IV, the official functional hydration partner of LAFC. Going to be a Sebastian Nava free kick to restart play. Going back to Sporting Kansas City, though, they were on some shaky ground in terms of conceding some real high-quality chances. Within those first 25 minutes or so, ended up going down a pair of goals, but since then they have somewhat righted the ship, even in that stretch of play in the opening half where LAFC was just bearing down on them time and time again. They did well when shifting into their low block defensively, of creating havoc and chaos, putting bodies in front, just not allowing LAFC to have a clean-looking goal.
Entering the match, number 83, Skylar Kaplan.
Repossessed by Los Angeles FC off that throw back in. It caroms over to Vieta. Eddie Vieta, the 5'10 midfielder, product of UCSB at the NCAA Division I level. Kosakov hands it off to Liam Lambert. Well read by Pierre Leroux. Lambert thought he had some space to move, instead dispossessed. One thing about Sporting Kansas City, as we get a whistle for a stoppage, they do get stuck in on these tackles. They are a team that can generate interceptions. They average almost 17 tackles per 90 minutes this season. The problem in this contest has been, once regaining possession, turning that into some semblance of dangerous offense. You look at this second half alone, they do have 2 shots on target, matching their output in the entire opening 45 minutes. And at this juncture, they have held LAFC without a shot on target. Danger territory here. Faelia able to get rid of it in a hurry. On the turn, Lambert rolls it along into the path of Kosakov. Kosakov touched in behind. Babineau shifting back in front. Leroux can't clear the lines yet. And now that cross is stood up and hammered away. Forward they go, Kashawn Hines. Lost it, but cleaning things up is Blaine Mabey, former Georgetown Hoya. Immaculate first touch from Misael Rodriguez. Now knifes inside. It's Rodriguez blocked off the head of Christian Diaz, who goes down immediately. Play continues on. Put it front. It's in. Sporting Kansas City 2, a lifeline. They pull one back late, courtesy of Ty Haas, 2-1. Just an awkward setup on all of this. Stumbling down was Rodriguez off the head of Christian Diaz, who stayed down. The beneficiary of it is Ty Haas, just hammering that toward goal. His second strike of the season. Not a moment too soon for Sporting Kansas City 2. And inside 15 minutes, that makes things very interesting for the visitors. The 17-year-old out of the SKC Academy, Ty Haas, breathing life into Sporting Kansas City 2. Make a change at the restart. Sam Worcester will come on. Part of the SKC U16 side at this most recent year's GA Cup. Johan Ortiz will join him. Sporting Kansas City 2. They are out of changes, just like LAFC 2.
Also into the match, number 88, Shane Donovan. Entering the match, point number 76, Johan Ortiz.
There's Russo and Shane Donovan exiting. Johan Ortiz, part of the El Salvador U20 national team. 2 appearances, both starts in Group A play at the CONCACAF U20 championships as we get a whistle. And Ernesto Rodriguez impeded. Back over to Rodriguez, flashed in, knocked down. That's where Babineau will pick the pieces up for the black and gold. Christian Diaz, good to see he stays in this contest. Had gone down after taking a blocked shot off the top of his head just minutes ago. Last week for Sporting Kansas City 2, it was heartbreak late, conceding 2 goals, one in the 86th minute, one in second half stoppage time after getting out to a 2-0 lead. Trying to flip the script here in match week 25. Worcester coughs it up in the defensive half. Nava, Babineau, Lambert dodges one. Babineau nearly dispossessed, was able to get through Worcester, who now takes it right away from LAFC. Turned upfield, seeking Misael Rodriguez, and well read by LAFC's captain, Christian Diaz. Nonetheless, these changes that Lita Santred have made over the last handful of minutes, specifically the 4 made here once the second half got underway in earnest. Those fresh legs have really changed things for Sporting Kansas City. But here it's a turnover. Numbers, if they go quickly, rolled ahead. Rodriguez has it swept away from him. It'll stay here for a corner. The young Liam Lambert will head to the far flag to send this in. Fabian Sandoval and this LAFC side trying to find another goal to restore that 2-goal lead. Lambert whips this in. High arching. Falls in front, knocked away. Not clear yet though. One back by LAFC. Cross blocked out. Too heavy of a touch there on this near side for LAFC. Quintero tosses it back in. First, though, we do have a stoppage motioned for by Austin Causey. There was a player slow to get back to his feet, back behind the play, and that was Kashawn Hines for Sporting Kansas City 2, who has been ushered over to his own technical area. Trainers checking on him. You see there at the bottom of the screen, Kashawn Hines being tended to. For now, SKC2 will be down to 10 until Hines can return to the pitch and bring them back to full strength. There is a whistle for a foul. Misael Rodriguez will have this free kick for Sporting KC. Still no Kashawn Hines yet for SKC2. Rodriguez lofts this out wide, headed down in the vicinity of Johan Ortiz, but booted clear by LAFC. Second ball served all the way back down. Hassan behind. Couldn't straddle the stripe, and it rolls out of play. Suddenly, Sporting Kansas City 2 have flipped the switch over these last 10 minutes in what was a 2-0 LAFC lead, in which they were asking the questions throughout the majority of this contest. Suddenly, over these last handful of minutes, feels like the black and gold are just trying to hang on here. They go forward to Lambert. Good connection. He finds Babineau. Acres of space here for Babineau. Wide, Kosakov, his cross, back post, just over the head of Martiresco and out. Kosakov trying a repeat of his service back in the opening 15 minutes that opened the scoring. Martiresco couldn't get on the other end of it. Worcester able to find Blaine Maybe. Throw will go the other way. LAFC will take over possession. Clipped along by Eric Diaz. There is Ernesto Rodriguez. Ernesto Rodriguez, not one of the 2 goal scorers, but nonetheless, he has had an indelible impact on this contest. 8 touches in the opposition box, 3 chances created. One back, though, by Sporting Kansas City 2. And Blaine Maybe with it. Misael Rodriguez, cut back over to Maybe. They try to whip it along, looking for Rodriguez going forward over on that left-hand side. Too much weight behind it, though, from Sam Worcester. Of note for Sporting Kansas City, too, with 5 minutes remaining plus stoppage time. Kashawn Hines is back on the pitch. Rolled along, Kosakov will track it down. Charlie Kosakov with options. Back into the path, Martiresco, too heavy of a first touch. Maybe sweeps it away. And here is Ty Haas, the lone goal scorer tonight for Sporting Kansas City 2. Johan Ortiz trying to work that back into play, could not. It'll be a throw for the black and gold. Lambert leaves it off for Babineau. Kaplan. Just ever so slightly out of the reach of Ernesto Rodriguez. The ball goes ricocheting out at the last minute off the SKC defender. Rodriguez never giving up on the play, and it sets Skylar Kaplan up with this throw in. Glanced along into the 18. Booted clear by Leroux. Forward to Kashawn Hines and cleaned up by Sebastian Nava. Who swings it all the way back over. Benjamin Faelia. He's made some good saves, the teenager, in net for LAFC, but one of the things that's impressed the most has been his distribution, specifically when under duress. We get a whistle here for a stoppage, and a card will come out against Sporting Kansas City as Christian Diaz tripped up. But you saw just a minute ago for Faelia.
Your attention, please. The referees
ability to just float that ball around the pressure. Kashawn Hines getting shown a yellow for that foul there. Anytime you go in from behind, you are leaving your fate in the hands of the center referee, and Austin Causey seeing that as a yellow card caution. Court Camp. Whipped back down by LAFC. Here's Lambert. Martaresco looking for the interchange, top of the area. Instead, Johan Ortiz pounces. Ortiz dodges. Options for Sporting Kansas City. Here's Haas. Still Haas. Turning. Lifted along. Ortiz pulls it in. Back to Blaine Maybe. Worcester switches. Rodriguez, maybe. Back to Misael Rodriguez. Rodriguez rings the woodwork, and it stays out. It'll stay on this end for a corner. What an effort this is from Misael Rodriguez, and Benjamin Faelia just getting a paw to that, perhaps his biggest stop of the night. Outswinging ball, it won't matter. There's a foul inside as Kaplan tripped up, and that'll erase the opportunity for SKC. Misael Rodriguez literal inches away from putting this contest on level terms. Sporting Kansas City hoping they still have one more push underneath their wings here late. There was a yellow card handed out to Pierre Leroux, the captain for SKC2, and play is back underway. Rodriguez going to dink that ball free, and now draws a whistle for a foul against the black and gold. Four minutes of stoppage time. That is according to fourth official Kevin Pantaleone.
4 minutes.
And this
time will be added to the end of the
officiating
second
crew
half.
this evening.
4 minutes of added time to the end of the second half. In addition, the head referee did show a yellow card in the 90th
Rodriguez lofts it.
The yellow card was shown to play number 41.
Not on the same page there. It is hacked out of play, and it will be a Sporting Kansas City throw. Hines with the reception. Here's Maybe. Worcester via Leroux. Trying to roll that in behind over to Misael Rodriguez. Stepping up and hammering that one back down was SKC2, but nothing doing again. Lita Santret, he said 2 weeks ago that the thing he's been the proudest, the most of with the Sporting Kansas City 2 side is their never-ending desire to continue to fight, and now headed back down to Rodriguez. We'll let it roll out of play smartly by the next pro veteran, and it will be a corner one by Sporting Kansas City. Just the second corner of the night. Rodriguez hammers this in the area, the heads go up, and it's knocked clear by LAFC. Cunningham, Rodriguez, second ball, headed wide. Sporting Kansas City pleading for another corner. They're not going to get it. That ball dropped right into the mixer by Rodriguez. Half of the 4 given for stoppage time have elapsed. And now, right before the restart, we get a whistle for a stoppage, and this yellow is going to go to the Sporting Kansas City bench. Lee Santret giving Austin Causey what for?
Sporting Kansas City 2 in stoppage time of the second half. The yellow card was shown to the Sporting Kansas City 2 bench to the head coach.
And now Benjamin Faelia will put it back into play. Running onto it is Martiresco. Just about 60 seconds away from full time. Misael Rodriguez turns it over. Lambert lost his footing, still able to connect with his captain and Christian Diaz. Maybe tries to clip it along. Wanted a whistle that he won't get. Nearly a half-minute remaining now. One last charge for Sporting Kansas City. It's been an incredible second half for the visitors. On the other side, Rodriguez, no choice but Babineau to fire that out of play, and it will concede a late corner. Third corner in the last 10 minutes for SKC2. Court Camp is out, likely the last kick. Rodriguez in the mixer, headed away. Haas will pick it up. Still Ty Haas puts it in front. Hammered clear by Martiresco. Whistle, and it's over. Sporting Kansas City's comeback falls short, and LAFC holds on for all 3 points.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the conclusion of tonight's match. Your final score in bold time. Sporting Kansas City.
An unbelievable finish to this contest. Sporting Kansas City grabs a goal late, but it's not enough, and LAFC2 will hang on. All courtesy of tonight's man of the match presented by Adidas. And who else? Sebastian Nava. An exquisite finish on the near post off a beautiful service from Charlie Kosakov. Knocking that one in, it gave LAFC a lead they would never relinquish. Sebastian Nava is your man of the match for a victorious LAFC 2 side. Black and gold heating up when it matters most. Back-to-back wins, 3 wins in their last 4. They hang on for a 2-1 result against Sporting Kansas City. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Jake Griffith. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. Good night from California.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.